Hello, everybody. Welcome to X-Marks the Spot with me, your host, Richter Hammer. Joining me today are Chriz, aka the Mole,
Feel the momentum up in here.
and James Phoenix.
I will now rise from the ashes up in here.
All gold, everything. All gold, everything. There you go, Jim. I gave you a chant.
Nice.
So, you know how we do this. Hopefully, we're going to go
I
through
feel like
our
that chant you. I feel like that chant should be for Gold Dust.
Goldberg and Goldust. Why weren't they a team? Anyway, but we're going to, we have up to 5 awards for the previous week in wrestling, and then we're going to go through our match and promo of the week. And this is, as Mole calls it, our filler week. Because it's between last week's Elimination Chamber and next week's Money in the Bank.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks after that, it's the Japanese thing, right?
Yep. And just so it feels like filler, there's no Marcus. We've killed him off screen, but next week he'll suddenly be there unexplained.
Exactly.
That works. Yeah.
Filler needs inconsistencies.
Yeah. This episode will never happen.
Oh my God, Rick! Where did you get that Super Saiyan 3 hair?
It's always been here.
I would have laughed like hell if his little icon had Super Saiyan hair for this recording because it was filler. Like, I've got power up I'm not supposed to have. Ha ha!
You know, if you had said that a week ago, I probably would have done that. I would have made a new little logo.
So wait a minute. So wait a minute. If this is just a filler one, does that mean Hulk Hogan's going to show up in this podcast he wasn't scheduled to be in?
Yes.
No, it means it's filler, which means people like Hulk Hogan and Brock Lesnar and stuff won't appear. At least that's what WWE normally does with them. They're like, yeah, we'll only show up when it's important. Shouldn't every week be important? Yeah, right.
Theoretically.
And every wrestler should be treated fairly. I just imagine him doing the Vince McMahon. And then I told him I was going to use the chosen one face.
Poor Drew McIntyre.
I like Drew McIntyre. Awards.
Yeah.
Awards.
What is he now? Doc Galloway, something like that?
Something like that.
I don't know.
I don't watch TNA. You can tell because, well, I'm normal.
I don't think anybody watches TNA. It's not on TV anymore. Or at least it won't become September when the contract expires.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like I said, 1 week they're like, oh, no, they've been cancelled. Then it's like, no, we're going to sue the dirt sheets for saying that because we haven't been cancelled. Then it's like, we have been cancelled, and they haven't, and they have. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on here.
Then they were canceled. Then they got replaced by Ring of Honor,
which is a much better show.
It is.
Yes. All right. So, first award, take it away, Jim.
I get to start. Okay. My one award, not counting my match and promo, my one award from Raw this week that I have. I was trying to come up with a clever title as an award. I couldn't, so I just called it Triple Reigns. You know, Roman Reigns wrestling 3 matches in one night. And
call it Roman wasn't built in a day.
There you go.
Why do we never use that pun?
No. So as a president for wrestling 3 matches in one night, and yet apparently their GM mode works different from ours because he did not suffer an injury.
It also works different to EWR and TW and stuff because there was no reports of the crowd. They're getting sick of seeing Roman Reigns. You've used him too much.
Yeah, exactly.
I love those games.
But then again, they needed that report because the crowd was sick of seeing Roman Reigns months ago. Ever since Bryan came the fuck back.
Yep, so WWE's solution is to shoehorn him into more matches, and it works. Don't get me wrong, I want Roman Reigns to get over. I like Reigns, but what?
Well, see, they're going to use Ambrose as the guy, but Reigns is going to do all the work, and that way they can get Reigns over by using Ambrose. Then they can just dump Ambrose by the side of the road and not care about him anymore.
So it'd be like what would have happened if they dumped Cena for Zack Ryder?
Something like that.
That was still wrong. I was still wrong. I don't like Zack Ryder, but it was still wrong to build him up after all the stuff he did. Give him the big push just to team him with Cena, and put him in a wheelchair because what's the name? Oh fuck, Torres ends up dumping him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm dumped. I must be in a wheelchair because Kane was after me," and just becomes a complete joke for weeks and then not on TV. It's like, really? What?
That's what they do.
Right then.
All right, so Mole, your first award?
Jim approves of Zack Ryder burying.
He does.
My first award is called The Blind Side.
Hey, I'll have you know that Zack Ryder got a shot at the United States Championship last week.
And the NXT one this week, but more on that later.
Oh, is he? Oh, God, okay.
But I was saying, number one
I know,
is
right?
The Blind Side. And that was for twin magic being used on Raw.
Ooh.
How? I'm even going to make the comment, which is a little controversial, and it's not racist in my opinion, of the New Day one made more sense. Only because if you saw what they did with the New Day one, they actually put Kofi Kingston's coat on him. The ref turns around and he's face down. So yeah, the hair was different, but you see someone in the matching in the tights and jacket, you would believe it was him. That's more plausible. And I know people reached for the racism card early with that one, but it's like it makes more sense. This one, different attires, different hair, different size chest, and none of this matches up. It's like you can't. How are you doing twin magic now? No.
Yeah, they do have very different attire.
And I quote generic dialogue from years of WWE and F video games. Come on, JR, you know the referee's health plan doesn't cover vision?
Yeah. Well, that was my first award. Back to Rick.
All right. My first award is the Bah God Award. For, saw this, I think it was a Vine that somebody posted of college graduation where dude goes up to accept his diploma and he throws up the WWE Championship belt, and then one of his friends runs up and gives him the stunner. And it was just really funny. And I was like, that's awesome. That was way better than mine.
Nice.
What did you do for yours?
Nothing. I just sat there bored and then went and got my thing, and then
He waited till Marcus went up there with the diploma, and then he cashed in money in the bank, and that's how Richter got his diploma.
wow.
That'd be amazing if that worked.
I don't know what's funnier, me cashing in or Marcus getting a... Anyway, yeah.
Oh, ouch.
Too soon. He's already dead in this filler week.
I know. This never happened. He's
Good
not going
point.
to hear it. All right, so Jim, your second award?
Okay. Let's see here. A second award. I'll save the other two for last. Award number 2. I'm calling this award Sharknado is Jericho. Because Chris Jericho did announce this week that he has landed a role in the upcoming TV movie Sharknado 3. Oh, hell no. That is the official title of the film. He's apparently...
Shouldn't that have been Austin?
I don't know. Anyway, Jericho. Jericho's playing the role of Bruce, a roller coaster attendant.
Reaching for the stars there.
Pretty much. Official synopsis: run like the wind, hide where you can. The Sharknado is back, and this time the entire East Coast is in the eye of the storm. Shearing winds of teeth and death will ravage the eastern seaboard from Washington, D.C. all the way down to Orlando, Florida. It's up to Finn, April, David Hasselhoff, and a horde of celebrity cameos to save the entire country.
Oh, watch out, Rock. Another returning WWE star basically is going to steal your limelight.
If anybody's interested, Sharknado 3 will premiere on Tuesday, July 22nd on the Sci-Fi Network.
I've heard those films are good, though. I will admit, I've heard those films are fun. I hadn't seen them, but I've heard they're fun.
Yeah, I want to see the first one at least.
I've seen parts of one of them on TV. It was absurdly awesome.
Nice. So, Mole, your second award?
My second award is called The Young and the Restless. Huh?
Dun, 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 dun.
That was
Hope
for
it's-
Renee Young interviewing Paige.
I was hoping it was her brother, Darren Young.
How do you mean brother?
That's the last name. I assume they're related. They're like the Dudleys.
They are.
They are.
She interviewed Paige and on SmackDown basically, and that was pretty cool. Where Paige is like, "Yeah, they've used twin magic before, but whenever you basically whenever you go to use it against me next time, I'm gonna be ready. I don't care. I'm gonna kick both your asses, basically." And it was a pretty good interview. And it was weird too, because they instead of doing it backstage, it was like the backstage interviews, but it was on the stage.
Huh.
And I'm like, that's a little weird, but I like it. I like it. Back to Rick.
All right. So for my second award, I call this Food Fight on the Stone Cold podcast with Paul Heyman, which I do recommend watching because that was pretty cool. At one point, Heyman gave this personal story about when they were driving for WCW and the Steiner brothers and Sting were always riding together, and I forget what. And Sting would always drive. And I forget which Steiner brother he said it was, but he would hold his other brother, and they would like lean out the car and open. They would like drive up alongside you, like one would hold the other one while they leaned out the window, and like open the car door and be like, "All right," and scare the crap out of you. And one time they saw him coming up, and he was with the Samoans, and they like locked the doors, and he was like banging on the window, and then they, so they couldn't get in, and then they drove in front of him, and then he said. I think it was Rick Steiner or something, and Sting switched places in the front seat, and he's like, "Don't do that in real life. Just don't do that." and then they started like throwing food out of the car at their rental car, starting with a watermelon. And then he said one of the Samoans is like, "Yo, pull over," and they went to a convenience store, got food, and they had like a food fight on the highway, throwing stuff at each other's car, and it ended up with him when he returned the car. They declared it totaled and blacklisted him, apparently still to this day, in North Carolina from ever renting a car.
Yep. And it was under his name of Paulie Dangerously.
Paulie Dangerous.
Back then he could rent a car like that.
It was an awesome story.
I will say, that podcast was awesome. The real reason I'm saying that is because last week I mentioned I was worried that Paul Heyman was going to
would be
Paul Heyman mode like he normally does, but no, he actually was the real Paul Heyman, and it's pretty cool. And I will also say, I've seen people say, I saw some people be like, "Boo, Jericho's podcasts are better," or some people be like, "Boo, Jericho's Austin's is better." I think they're two very different entities. I noticed that more with the Paul Heyman one. I don't know if anyone would agree, but I find Austin's is more like, like when you go on a proper talk show and the guy's basically giving you the hard-hitting questions because he wants to quickly get to that point, and he feels in charge and stuff like that, and it works. Jericho's is more, I'm relaxing here with my buddy, and eventually they'll open up, which also works, but they're two different entities, and I think both are equally valid. And I enjoyed the Paul Heyman one, especially. Have you got any other awards for this?
I don't. Not for
okay. No. Especially, I will say I did like the end where Austin went into promo mode.
Yeah.
And challenged Brock Lesnar to a Texas death match. I also loved the fact when I
feel they need to ask what that is.
I was about to say, I loved the fact when I was watching that with, I think it was my brother, he actually turned to me and said, "What's a Texas death match?" I was like, "You watch ECW and stuff more than me. You should know this," because I know they had one in there. It's basically a last man standing match, but after you get to the 10 count, you then have to pin them.
Ah. Interesting.
At least it was that way in one of them.
I'm assuming the Queen of Hearts told you. No.
No.
But has that been over 3 months? Is no one gonna remember? Okay.
I remember that. That was a chain match.
Yeah. I don't know what she's all competed in. I just.
She couldn't tell about that because then it would be a Canadian death match.
There you go.
Yep. You can read all about it in her book, 50 Shades of Maple Syrup.
Okay then.
That's not racist. Because
No.
Canada doesn't count.
Because Canada doesn't count.
No, I'm kidding. We tolerate Canada. No, we like people from Canada. But no, like I said, the podcast was awesome, wasn't it, Rick? But what did you think at the end? Because I figured, as an Austin fan, you probably would have been. Because I'm not, but I still fucking loved it when he went promo mode. If that makes sense. Like I was like, okay, this makes me a little nostalgic.
It felt kind of weird. It's like he just like turned it on. I was like, what? It was just such a dramatic shift where it's like, yeah, no, I'm not messing around anymore. Now I'm in angry Austin mode. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like you just fill a meter or something, and then all of a sudden he's just like, nope.
Yeah, that was so amazing. Like he went from happy-go-lucky Austin to then just going full proper promo Austin to the point where he even says, "Yeah, well, you're advocating getting an ass whooping," and it's like it's so awesome. You totally need to check that podcast out, Jim.
I will do that.
No, you will watch it, Jim.
I just said that.
Sorry, I tuned you out. I assumed you said Vita.
No, what have you done?
I need to wake him up. How? Jericho, leather pants!
All right, so Jim, your third award.
Indeed.
Now that you're awake.
Yeah. So,
And horny.
anyway. Moving along, it's for my final two awards, it's time for the WWE Weekly Injury Report. First up, it has been confirmed that as a result of his injury, former NXT champion Sami Zayn will be out of action until October. It's a shoulder injury that he suffered.
That sucks. I like Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
It does. He was spotted in Birmingham, Alabama last week, which might have been to see Dr. James Andrews, one of the WWE doctors. No word on whether he has undergone rotator cuff surgery, but he will be going under the knife for that surgery soon if he hasn't already.
I thought they did it at the same time. Maybe I was wrong.
They may have. I don't know, but
I thought they were going to air it on WWE Network as a special. No? No one thinks they might do open surgery as fucking a special.
I wouldn't put it past them.
I will accept that as a series only if we get a retroactive episode on Nikki's boob job.
I second that.
Yeah.
The motion passes.
All right then.
I'm ready for my soldier surgery. Hello, says Isaac Yankum, looking down at him. What? No, but I thought you were a dentist. I moved on. That'd be amazing. But continue with the injury report, Jim.
But yeah, that was so Sami Zayn will be he said he suffered the shoulder injury in fighting Cena, and then or maybe it was Kevin Owens, I don't know.
Story-wise, he got it fighting Kevin Owens. Real life, he got it on the ring to fighting Cena.
Yeah. Fair enough. So he'll be out till October. Am I just doing next award, or do you guys have other awards?
I have other ones.
I have enough. I have up to 5.
Okay, then you guys go ahead. We'll come back to the other one.
All right, so Mole, your third one.
Okay, I called it K-Opened Challenge. K-Open Challenge. So I did that. I just put K in front of open because of KO. Huh? I did it last week too.
I don't get it.
Well, you see. No. He comes out, mocks Cena. He destroys Zack Ryder. Now, I don't agree. Like I said, I thought Zack Ryder at the time he was popular should have got pushed, but this, I was like, oh my god, because Cena's one with Zack Ryder was really close. This one wasn't. That makes him look even more of a threat against Cena going into Money in the Bank, which is probably a bad thing, I am aware. But he basically destroyed Zack Ryder, and he gets the microphone, he's like, I did it! I did the open challenge! I did it for all of you kids! The champ is here! As he holds up his belt, mocking Cena and acting like over celebration. I was like, oh my god, that's kind of fucking hilarious.
After he did this, did he pull out and step on the Internet Championship?
No.
Oh.
But still, when he did that, like I said, like he was pulling faces, like the same types of faces Cena does when he wins the open challenge. Like he's shocked he's managed to win.
Yeah,
He's doing that. He's doing like the champ is here and stuff. It's like I don't know why it was fucking hilarious.
Was he wearing Cena's T-shirt?
Nope, he was wearing not his normal KO shirt, his other KO shirt where the letters are tidied up, and on the back says "Fight Owens, fight."
Ah,
Coming in the post.
nice.
Really?
How's it he's
Really?
bitching at Cena about T-shirts when he has like 5 fucking T-shirts?
To be fair, if you listen to his argument with Cena with the shirt was, all you are is a means to sell bright-colored T-shirts to kids. I have T-shirts, but I'm not out here throwing them into the crowd, desperate for them to get them. So his was basically, Cena is basically all about commercialism, while Kevin Owens is selling the T-shirts based on his actual ability.
Fair enough.
It's like, how the hell did The Rock insult Cena for having multiple T-shirts when, let's not forget when The Rock was the face of the company, there was fucking multiple. Like, there was finally The Rock has come back to every fucking city in the world. Totally have the London one. When I went to see it, was called
that would amazing. That would amazing if it was a T-shirt that actually said The Rock is trying to come back to every fucking city in the world.
I don't that one.
Yeah, but it says finally The Rock has come back to on the front, and on the back it just says London, and then the picture of the Brahma Bull.
Nice.
But yeah, like I said, that's pretty cool. Like I said, yay, Kevin Owens T-shirt coming in the post.
At one point, wasn't The Rock selling a T-shirt and something about eating strudel or pie or something too?
Yeah, The Rock sold loads.
Yeah, he really doesn't have a right to talk about T-shirts.
Yeah, whereas I think, like I said, I think people have a problem with Cena because he's changing them too quickly in terms of what he's wearing on the screen, and also because it seems like that's the only reason he's champion is because of the marketing.
Right.
Whereas you could argue, as much as it is all story driven and it was fake, you could argue someone like Kevin Owens or Brock Lesnar and even fucking like Roman Reigns and stuff, they get there based on being themselves or being really dominant. Not, here's a little towel I'm going to throw to the audience. But back to Rick.
All right. So my third award is the Botchamania Award for the Jerry Springer's Too Hot for TV. It was the bloopers and blunders, and I always love outtakes. So when they showed some outtakes, it was really funny. Like I wish I could have seen more, but I really like those.
I didn't see that one, but I have to ask: is the Jericho one on there that I fucking love?
The one where he where Orton tries to RKO him. That one.
No.
Oh.
I was on about, and this wasn't Jericho's fault. He goes to do, his lion salt thing off the rope, off the top rope. As he does it, the rope just fucking goes completely down, like they weren't tied up properly, and then like the whole top rope is lost. It's like, what the fuck?
No, they did not have that one. Hopefully,
it's like. It's like, imagine if, and I'm like, that's not Jericho's fault. That's so shoddy building of a ring. Imagine if that happened when the Undertaker's defending his streak and the rope just collapses and he falls to the floor. You'd be like, what the fuck? No, no. Especially if he went for a pin just for the ultimate troll move. You'd be like, no.
All right.
Which were your favorite outtakes?
Oh man, the Mean Gene ones were pretty good. Because one, he would swear a lot, and two, there was one where I like on the screen, because you used to have the hotline or whatever, and they would put the thing up, and they were like taping one of them, and on the screen they wrote Gene Tiny Dick Okerlund, and then the phone number. Like, but that, and he's like, all right, he's like, oh, and he could like see in the teleprompter or whatever. He's like, oh man, he's like, you guys really gonna do that? I don't know. There were a lot of other ones. Like they had when Vince was years ago when he was training to beat Austin, and there's a part where Shane got him to like chase a chicken or something like that to improve his speed and agility. And they and they show what like actually happens, and they have a little fenced area, so the chicken can't escape. And he's like, "All right, go get the chicken," and he throws it, and the chicken lands and just sits there. And it's like runs over, like stumbles, like trying not to like fall on it, and he's like, and he's like throwing snow at it, and he's like, it's not moving. Like, should I choke it? And she's like, no, you don't choke the chicken. And then they like try again, and the bird walks like 2 steps and then just stops.
I will say I did love that at the time they did that montage, and it's Vince like catch the chicken. He's doing like all the fucking stuff from the Rocky films. There's training, and it's like that's kind of, I don't know why that was funny.
It was. So for your 4th award, take it away, James.
Okay. And continuing the injury report, let's see here. We don't really know any really details right now. We just know right now that Tyson Keene is currently undergoing WWE medical tests to determine the severity of whatever the fuck Samoa Joe did to him during the dark match before Raw.
Yep. There has been some speculation with that.
Mm-hmm.
The ones I've heard is, you know, his move, the Buster Jim, Rick.
Yes, of course.
Because of all the pressure it puts on your back, because he just came out of Elimination Chamber of dropping onto steel. They're thinking, you know, like when it builds and it's like pop.
Yeah.
Which does make sense, and I hope that doesn't lead to that move being banned.
Hopefully. But yeah, they haven't publicly acknowledged the injury yet because they don't know exactly how severe it is and what it is yet. The belief is that it was, but however, the belief that he's is that within WWE is that the injury Kid suffered was a freak occurrence and it was not anybody's fault. So they're not blaming Joe or anything. Just a good thing that happened.
That's the fans' job.
It's a shame WWE isn't blaming him, but he'd be Intercontinental Champion next week. Thank you. But no, it's a case of, like I said, I thought like that is a freak thing if you've been in the Elimination Chamber that they put together the last second, banging on steel, then boom, the pressure, it's sort of like pop. Yeah. That's my theory, or you could go with the joke of, well, he's clearly injured his back from carrying Cesaro, but I hope Tyson Kidd gets better. I like him.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
And it's good that they haven't acknowledged it because they don't know about the severity and stuff, because it means he might get better really fast.
Yeah. There was an interesting report where they were the Lowell Dirt Sheets were reporting that WWE was trying not to acknowledge injuries if at all possible, trying to keep injuries on the DL, except to say that so and so is injured. Because they think that if people know what injuries they have and the severity and whatnot, it ruins the surprise of when they come back.
Fair enough.
So, I don't know.
It is also worth noting WWE has also started to do more on-screen injuries.
True.
Now, I'm not sure if anyone else had noticed that, but more characters like Neville and stuff, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see them wearing the bandages to sell the fact they're meant to be injured right now. Oh my, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, except that nobody really believes that when Dean Ambrose recovered from a crushed fucking trachea in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but does anyone actually really believe anything to do with wrestling?
True.
Like, let's say, as much as he is a better in-ring person when he's not doing the super mode, does anyone here honestly believe in a straight up one-on-one fight Big Show would lose to Daniel Bryan? Wouldn't that just be like one fucking boxing punch from Big Show and he'd be dead? There's a reason they don't put heavyweights with lightweights in like UFC and stuff.
True.
Pretty much. That's what I would always say about Big Show. Be like, yeah, you can make fun of him, but I wouldn't want to anger him in a dark alley somewhere. Like, yeah. He'll kill you.
But then again, but then again, as we know, size doesn't matter because Floyd Money Mayweather did knock him out.
He did.
Well, he thought he was his wife, so.
Ouch.
I had to go there, sorry. Anyway. So, Mole, your 4th award, if you're done, Jim.
Well, okay. Have you seen the TV show and the saying "just add water"?
Yes.
Well, My crafty little name is Just Add Fire. And that's because Kane has been added to the Money in the Bank match.
Interesting.
At the end of SmackDown, he comes out, boom, chokeslam to Roman Reigns, boom, chokeslam to Sheamus. Because at first he chokeslams Roman Reigns, like, oh, okay, he's come out to help Sheamus. Boom, he chokeslams Sheamus. Gets the microphone, he goes, the last man in the Money in the Bank is me. So that happened. I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong, I like Kane and I like Big Show, but the reason I keep mocking them is because I like them in a certain way, if that makes sense, but I don't like the fact, in my opinion, that they're way too old and past it, that they should be part-timers. Like, if they were on the Brock contracts, or like Undertaker and stuff, or Jericho and stuff, fair enough. But if they're constantly there every week, always seem to be destroying younger talent, I think it actually stops the development.
It does.
It's like, people like the Attitude Era, like, how different would the Attitude Era have been, Rick, if Jake the Snake Roberts hadn't let Austin go over him at King of the Ring? Well, how much different would it have been if The Rock hadn't laid down for Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or how different would WCW have been if Hulk Hogan had actually laid down for someone he didn't regret? Still can't believe he regrets losing to Kidman. It made Kidman fucking awesome. I mean, huge. And he gets like, no, I regret that. Yeah, bet you do, don't you, you egotistical prick. If ever anyone deserved AIDS...
Well, if you want to give them to him, you just got to get Brooke to get him, and then...
Yeah. Nice.
And how different would WCW have been if Kevin Nash didn't lay down for Hulk Hogan?
Yep.
All right.
But like I said, with that, like the Austin thing and the Rock one with the genuine things of WWE's doing it wrong nowadays. Like in the Attitude Era, as much as I may not like that era, but it's the same thing the era before it too. You'd always get like the old, like Ric Flair would help put over Mr. Perfect before the Attitude Era. In the Attitude Era, you'd have like Jake the Snake Roberts helping put Austin over and stuff like that. It's like nowadays, it's like the older people are suddenly treated as unstoppable because the younger talent needs to prove themselves. It's like, but they can't prove themselves unless you let them get the victory. It's like Kevin Owens going over Cena at Elimination Chamber. That was awesome because it's helping out the NXT brand. That's helping out the younger guy.
Yeah.
If Kane was to win Money in the Bank, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Well, I don't think he'd win.
No, as we said last year, Kane is there to push somebody else up the ladder.
Yeah. Although part of me wonders whether or not he will win. I'm thinking Reigns will win. Part of me kind of thinks Kane may, because of all the teasing of him being the one to take Seth Rollins down that they've done for all those months. Part of me thinks he'll get that, and Seth will shit himself. Or he'll get that, and then you'll have the whole storyline of the Authority telling him, "Don't cash in, Kane. Don't cash in. Use it for another role. Like cash in on Ryback. Go on, cash in on Ryback. Cash in on Cena. It's an open challenge. Oh, cash in. An open challenge. Cash in. That's when Kane's like, I'm done here. I'm just cashing in on Rollins.
Cashes in on Triple H.
Yeah, cashes in on Triple H for the title of COO.
Yeah. Or imagine if he cashes in on Lillian Garcia. How amazing would it be if every pay-per-view we get to see Kane sing your national anthem in a skimpy dress?
Oh.
But no,
It'd look better than
that would look better than that. But you see what I mean? Like I could see Kane winning it. I hope he doesn't. But I'm like, I shouldn't see Kane as a viable threat in a match filled with younger guys. I feel like Big Show and Kane are holding back a load of the roster, bro. But that might just be me.
No, you're right. They are doing that, unfortunately.
Okay, so for my fourth award, Mole might appreciate this. It's the Audience Chant Award on NXT. for the audience during the Adam Rose match chanting, "We want Kruger, no we don't." I just thought that was funny. Because he used to wrestle in the Indies under like Kruger or something. I forget the.
Okay.
He did.
But yeah, they're chanting like, "We want Kruger," and then the other half's like, "No, we don't."
What was it? No, we don't.
It sounded like "No, we don't."
Oh,
I
I
assumed
thought.
they wanted
thought-
him to stay Adam Rose and not whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was we want Kruger, Adam Rose. We want
Oh, okay.
Kruger. But it might have been no, we don't. But yeah, I like that part of the match as well.
All right. So then, Jim, did you have a fifth one or no?
You know, I'll give an award to something here real quick. I won't know if I'll give it to him, but first of all, now I kind of want Adam Rose to go back. I don't know anything about what his Kruger character was, but now I just want to go back to Kruger, and I want him to rip off Canyon's gimmick and go around saying who better than Kruger. But anyway, I'm gonna give it. Let's see here. I don't know what to call this award.
Pulled out your ass.
Yeah, pretty
Yes.
much.
The Marcus
Pretty
Shadow
much.
Memorial Award.
Pulled out your ass and the ultimate tribute to fillers.
Yep. I'll call it the Oklahoma Ass Whooping Award. And that's for JR on his blog going on an epic fucking rant about how shit the state of current pro wrestling is, because he finally got tired of people bitching to him like, no, wrestling, it's just JR's being negative about wrestling. It's like, no, I'm not being about wrestling. Wrestling sucks. I'm not the only one that notices this.
I would actually make the case most of pro WWE in terms of at the moment and pro wrestling in general is actually really good right now. We got a new promotion on the rise of Global Force Wrestling, which Jeff Jarrett honestly has gone on record as saying he believes might help wrestling become mainstream again. But I think he's reaching. But it's a case of WWE's product. Like we said, oh my god, a surprise pay-per-view of Elimination Chamber. Pretty good. The quality on TV right now is actually pretty good. It was like last year was much worse than this year. I think NXT is a really great brand in itself and a really great idea, and it's helping people learn about WWE people before they come into WWE. As I mentioned to someone, I think it's kind of a mixed bag with NXT. I don't know if Richter would agree, but it's basically like an indie territory, like Ring of Honor, but with the WWE brand enough that people will be like, I don't feel weird watching this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a Ring of Honor with WWE budget.
Yeah.
Which I like Ring of Honor, I really do, but to the average wrestling fan, they won't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm like, I feel it's actually a really good time for wrestling. Like the network alone is helping it out. Like the Austin podcasts is getting people to pay attention to, like the Paul Heyman podcast he did recently. Yeah, Austin's had Paul Heyman on his actual podcast a couple of times, but no one watched that because it's not on the WWE network. But then, which means the network is also drawing attention to more behind-the-scenes stuff, and we're getting stuff now that we haven't had before. I think it's a great time.
Okay.
I wasn't insulting you, Jim. You didn't write Jim Ross's blog.
No. I understand. I'm just saying. I thought the JR had some legitimate points. He mentions things like, he supports wrestling and he hopes all wrestling organizations do well because he wants to see them all do well. But some of these groups can't handle constructive criticism, and they take the things that he says about their product personally, which is childish and unprofessional, saying it's his prerogative to criticize bad acting, over-scripted promos, no-selling major moves, illogical creative, and other eye-rolling creative content in an attempt to reinvent what isn't broken. He's paid his due, he has a decent track record, and he's a fan for over 50 years. He feels if he wants to put his opinion on wrestling out there, he should have a right to do that. And he's saying the majority of wrestlers these days are not good promo talents. Every word they say is scripted as shit, and that system is outdated and unproductive, as fans today can recognize a wrestler reciting a promo from memory and not from heart within a few sentences. Wrestling is better when it comes from logically realistic plays executed inside the ring as an athletic contest, and it's not an acrobatic show that exposes the business as a sham with no selling and the complete lack of some talent's ability to properly apply an actual wrestling hold. I like the line he said here: the faster some talent perform, the louder they tell us that they're skill set is lacking and that they are trying to get by on sensationalism instead of realism. I'm going to add it. Dolph Ziggler.
To be fair, with that point, there's a reason for that.
Why?
I honestly believe there's a reason for that. Go back and watch the matches from like the Hulk Hogan era. Really slow. Go watch like the Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels era. A little faster, but it's still slow paced for what you're used to now. Watch the Attitude Era, and they had the weapon thing going for them and stuff, which was cool, but they were a little faster again. Cut to now, our Ruthless Aggression, a little faster, more realistic. Then cut to now, they're doing those matches because that's how it's evolved, because people get bored if they see those slow, drawn-out ones, like the Big Show matches or something like that. People are like, this is boring. They want to see, like, say, I know, Adrian Neville versus Tyler Breeze. They want to see those two go at it in the ring at a really fast pace. Because if you slow those guys down into a realistic way, the matchup feels bogged down by today's standards. It's just how it's evolved. That way as well, when they hit the moves, like when Reigns goes doom and puts someone down with his Superman punch, it looks more impressive because they're down.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my feeling on that one. I don't know. What do you feel, Rick?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that they. I don't know necessarily. I haven't paid attention if they go faster each generation. That does make sense. But like, yeah, when you see older ones, they are definitely much slower. And personally, I don't mind some fast things. Just sometimes there is too fast. But I think part of it is it depends on the person because yeah, like Big Show's not gonna have a super fast match. But yeah, if Neville's there, I want at least bursts of speed. I don't want the whole thing like looking like it's in fast forward, but I want times where it's like there's a snippet where it's like they're busting out doing something quick and then it stops and you're like give you a second to like be like, whoa, what did I just watch?
Right, which is fine and that makes sense. Some guys work well at a fast pace because that's how they wrestle. But the problem is you get guys, and I think Dolph Ziggler is an example of this, who clearly have at least some level of talent, but they get out there so enthusiastic, they wrestle so fast that half their moves don't connect, and they end up injuring people and themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just why I think is a concern about, we got to be, we got to be fast-paced. Well, there is such a thing as being a little too fast-paced.
Yes.
Because
you don't want to be faster. You don't want to be too fast for your opponent.
Exactly.
I mean, technically, yes, you do. But it's in a scripted environment, no, you don't.
Yeah, and that's why I think Dolph has a problem. Is Dolph's faster than a lot of guys that he wrestles, and I think that's why sometimes in his matches it seems like he's missing a move because they weren't prepared or something goes weird or something, whatever. It feels like Dolph's like running circles around people out there.
And I do agree. Like I said, I do agree with some of the stuff being faster, like Dolph and stuff like that. But like I said, I just feel it's the time as well, because there's a reason I feel that, like, take Royal Rumble, for example. People mentioned that the top 3 people that they wanted to win the Royal Rumble were Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, and Dean Ambrose. Or at least, I don't know if you'd count Ambrose as it, but the other 2 are definitely way too fast with some of the stuff they do, but yet that's connecting to today's audience.
True, and the counter with Daniel Bryan is, yes, Daniel Bryan can run and do some fast running used to the face and shit, but he can also slap you in a half a dozen holds and make it look good, and actually not wrestle too, and that's the difference.
I know, but I was saying he also, how WWE books him, he does the faster paced stuff, but it's a case of, I think it might be the era, because if stuff's going on really fast right now in WWE, people feel they have to pay attention to it as they're watching it and not be like on their phones or on their iPads or on their internet tweeting and stuff, which while they want the social stuff, that'll be what the part in between, slow it down and people start commenting on it. So I feel stuff nowadays has to be faster and more intense, not to make that joke, but faster, more intense, just to make people pay attention.
And which is fair enough. There's that. As he says, some people feel we're in an alleged pending boom period because there's so much wrestling product available on a weekly basis now. And he asks, does average, at times at best average, TV product indicate a boom to anyone who actually thinks about it? I think not. Saying that it says the product by and large is overthought, and those in creative charge seemingly and those in creative charge seemingly feel compelled to take a tired and true product and put their personal fingerprints on it, as if they're going to be the one who is forever known as changing the wrestling business forever, end quote. The business changed forever when territories died, due largely because of promoters. Basically, talents in the back in the day were by and large better storytellers than we are fed today, with some exceptions. An essentially easy-to-watch, non-complex hour of TV that virtually anyone could understand and enjoy was what worked best for many of us lifers. Where are those days gone? Yes, I've been involved with many lame, ineffective, impotent TV storylines in my career, but I was always a team player and had no problem cashing the checks to do what my employer instructed me to do in the fictional show business world of pro wrestling. It was like an actor being paid as casted a role in a film. Some days were better than others. Some shows were better than others, too. Perhaps someday someone in the promotion will understand that simpler is better, and the majority of fans don't want bad acting or predictable promos, but instead want to get lost in personal issues featuring the stars setting the conflict in the ring utilizing superior athletic representation.
Yeah, it's like I said, I can agree that with stuff he's saying. I just feel we're in a great period right now. I feel it's representation, or I don't know what you'd call it, like it's basically WWE moving with the times, because like I said, like today's audience, they're the same ones nowadays. Like everyone, I've even seen a little kid literally Google about wrestling, which means they know at an early age it's fake now more than they used to. Which means people aren't going to tune into WWE now with that sense of like they used to, if I want to believe. It's more of, like when you see stunt car driving, I feel that's more what people want to see. Like they want to see the quick, oh my God, can you believe this guy just did this stunt? And I feel like the cheesy acting is probably part of that, because it's like, okay, this is just a filler segment. We're going to be a little cheesy so everyone's like, oh, okay, it's kind of fun. You know what I mean? Like theme park people were like, oh, what are we going to do next? And then it's part of the attraction. At least that's how I feel. I feel it's like more attractive, more like an attraction now, like stunt driving, as opposed to you watch it to see, like, oh my God, you watch someone do a spine buster just to see, oh my God, I can't believe he just did that. It looks painful. Oh my God, is he going to get back up? But I don't know.
Which I understand, but I feel like that's not good, because that's basically WWE trying to appeal to like a lowest common denominator to bring whoever they can in to watch, as opposed to something like NXT, which is pretty much what wrestling should be. Maybe you could use a little bit more storyline, but that's pretty much what wrestling should be. NXT
is what WWE should be. However, I would ask everyone here, what made the Attitude Era successful?
Weapons.
It's because, like WWE even said, they wanted to make it like Jerry Springer to appease the lowest common denominator, so that casual fans will tune in, and that makes them more lifetime fans.
True.
It may not be what everyone wants, but it's what's needed, if that makes sense.
WWE is Batman?
Yeah.
Okay then. Back to Hammy. In the Ivory Tower.
So, that was Jim's. Okay, that was a long one. I almost lost track. Okay,
sorry, Mole, I got into a discussion. I apologize.
No, that's fine. I was like, wait a minute. I was trying to remember whose award that was.
What does Richter feel about the idea of it being more like stunt stuff now, and the idea of pleasing the lowest common denominator, like they're trying? I mean, it says it all when they've even got a reality TV show.
True.
Yeah. Which is fucking addictive.
Although I would argue that regardless of if you're loyal or the lowest common denominator, I don't think either group wants to see Kane and Big Show go out and destroy young people.
They don't, but I feel they're meant to be there more for the long-time fans, because most of what makes Kane and Big Show a threat now is if you've watched their past. Available now on the WWE Network.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so your fifth award.
My fifth award, which I know we got into this, we were discussing this the other day, Rick, but I called it, How Dare You Improve?
Oh, right, okay.
And this was to the idiot NXT crowds booing and shouting, "You can't wrestle" at Eva, who's there to develop and improve, and actually she can wrestle now. she's been training with the Brian Kendrick.
Who are they
She's
training
doing-
it at?
Eva.
I don't know who that is.
The diva with the red hair is in all red everything. Hence why I made the old gold one.
Eva, okay.
Yeah, that's it, Eva.
Now, okay, it sounded like you were saying either. I'm like, what, either who?
Yes, but like I said, that which, like I said, she's there to improve. She actually has improved. She's been training with the Brian Kendrick, but it seems, as much as I like NXT, it seems like its audience has become almost full of themselves. Like, if you're not from NXT, they're gonna boo you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't like that. And it's like, come on, we're not even giving her a chance. Isn't this a developmental territory? Shouldn't she be here to try and develop? Plus, she's showing more better work ethic, in my opinion, than most of the guys on the roster. Because, for example, who remembers a lot of guys on the roster? For example, I know John Cena. I'm just going to use him, even though he has gotten better recently. But who remembers all the years of people telling him he sucks in the ring? For him to say, well, I don't care what you think, and just stuck to sucking. Whereas Eva, they tell us she sucks. She goes and trains with the Brian Kendrick. She basically dedicates a load of stuff to WWE and puts in loads of time. And I know some people are going to say it's fake, but as you've seen Total Divas, she's put WWE before her real life so many times on that, if you count that. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's like she's showing great work ethic. She's going back to NXT to train, and people are still like, nah, fuck you. It's like, really? This isn't the time we're supposed to be in. And I've seen some people also say, well, to be fair, she was only hired for her look. And I'm like, to be fair, so some of the guys are only hired because they look big and muscular. It's the same thing. Well, I was just thinking, like, for example, the last face of the company, or the current one of John Cena. Are you telling me he didn't get anywhere in WWE with where he is now, based on the fact he looks like a walking action figure?
True.
But I don't know what Richter felt about that scene, but I felt it was really disrespectful to her. And I was like, it's also really stupid because of the fact that she was trying to improve.
Yeah. It was a little disrespectful, but I don't know. I'd want to see her actually wrestle before I would say if she has improved. Because what little I've seen of her on Total Divas, I'm like, she's an idiot. So I don't know.
She is an idiot at times.
Mm.
Richter watches Total Divas.
I've seen like 20 minutes of it.
Oh my god, you're my Total Diva BFF.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you?
This is the gayest this show has ever been.
Well,
and Simon's not even here. Didn't she do some kind of weird episode where like she was getting engaged, but her family didn't know when they rejected him or some shit?
Basically, she was getting engaged, but what her family didn't. The reason she kept it from her family is overly Catholic, and he's not a Catholic. And that's why when they got there, like her dad was constantly wanting him to, basically, I was about to say corrupt. That's not the right word.
no, that's the right word. We'll go with that.
Yeah, but her dad was like, you need to convert to our religion. And to be fair, her dad was sick at the time, so Eva was trying to push the boyfriend into it a little bit more. But he was like, my religion is what makes me me. If I do that, I stop being me. I'm going to put my foot down. And I'm like, I respect that dude. I understand where she's coming from, but I respect the dude as well at the same time. I can't believe we're having a bigger discussion about Total Divas. But yay, Total Divas. I love that show. I watch it on the WWE Network instead of ETV, but I can't wait till next week's episode. I want to give it awards, but I can't because it airs on E. Back to Rick.
All right. So my fifth and final award is the Who's on First award on NXT. I was excited to see one of my favorite tag teams, the Vaudevillains, came back because I like that gimmick. Besides being an awesome name for something, I really like that gimmick. I really like them. Yeah, it's not like main card gimmick, but I really like it. You know, I think it's cool with the intro and the black and white and the. Feels legit. Yes. I'm
just gonna interrupt you for a sec, Rick.
Okay.
Main card tag team features Mega Powers. Continue.
He's not wrong.
Well, I don't mean main card is in Raw. I mean high card
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant like that wouldn't be that gimmick when they came up to the main roster.
No. I
The
mean
main
more
roster
that
sucks at the
one
moment. With some
one that
stuff.
they're gonna push for years to come, or that won't be like
Oh, yeah.
as much as the primetime players are entertaining, they probably I don't see them being like main event, if that makes sense. So.
Yeah, I could see that. Like I said, I loved the Vaudevillains. I preferred it when Adrian English was singing.
Yes, me too.
But I totally loved the Vaudevillains with the black and white, and they look like
yeah.
the old fairground attraction people.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say the Vaudevillains are awesome, and I give credit to the primetime players for managing to get back together and still be awesome after all the things that they've gone through. And I will make the point to either of those that if the Bushwhackers can be successful, any tag team can be successful.
Yes, but it depends on who they're going to push. That's my problem. It's not.
Yeah.
It could be successful if they want to make it successful.
Yeah, what Richter means is when he watches the Vaudevillains, he doesn't see any of them being the Jannetty or the Shawn Michaels. He sees them basically both being Usos.
There you go.
And I like Usos, I really do, but I don't see those two feuding and one going to the world title and one not, because that'd be confusing as fuck.
Yeah.
Unless one wears a mask.
Yeah.
There you go. But during their match, they fought Jason Jordan and Marcus Louis, who I don't know if anyone remembers. He was like that French dude and got his head.
I was like, didn't Enzo shave his head or something?
Yeah, like they dunked him in that Nair stuff in his hair, and then he was stalking Tyler Breeze for a couple weeks, and then they forgot that they were doing that, and he was just like every once in a while they'd bring him up because nobody knew where the hell he was, and then he just showed up in a random match, and I was like, what? And actually, some of the commentary that they had was pretty funny, where they're like, where'd they find him? And Byron Saxton's like, he was in an attic, and he's like, I know, but how did he find him?
But given gimmicks, am I the only one who really thinks they need to call up Tyler Breeze and make him a protege of The Miz?
I always felt he was like if Dolph Ziggler and Miz like fused or had a baby or something. It would just be him.
I can see that.
With Tyler Breeze, how he is now, I see him as a modern version of Shawn Michaels when he had the Heartbreak Hotel and the tassels, and he's like, yeah, look how much of a model I am, basically. That version of Shawn Michaels.
Well, I love the reason he does that gimmick. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but it was supposed to be like a riff on people that like did something else and think that wrestling would be a good way to get noticed.
Hi, Goldberg.
Yeah, something like that. Just like, oh man, like I really want to act, but I guess wrestling will get. It's like making fun of those people that are just like, oh, wrestling's easy with the friend team instead of tag team and Friday Night Smashdown or whatever it was. Like, once I learned that was the idea behind the gimmick, I'm like, it's genius. Like before, it's just like, okay, he's that kind of, felt, like a generic kind of heel thing, and then learning that, I'm like, I like that gimmick now. That's awesome.
Yeah, I still like that term as well. I've heard people say that to a friend team.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no. Even more inaccurate based on the fact most of them nowadays are just thrown together.
Yeah.
We're now friend team.
It'd be so much funnier if that was called that.
It would be.
Well, who would Triple H team with?
Self.
But everyone's his best friend.
He team with us.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh god.
Richter, if I put a bald cap on, can me and you do twin magic?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yay!
I've seen crazier things.
Oh god, I just realized even more so than now, if they started calling them friend teams, the New Day would never shut the fuck up.
Which I mean the case with the new I said to someone the other day with the New Day, and we're like, oh, I fucking hate the New Day, they're so annoying. I'm like, really? They're really annoying to you? You hate? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, good. They're heel. They're doing their job.
Pretty much.
And that's what a heel's supposed to do. You're supposed to say, I fucking hate you. And if not in the way that we do with some wrestlers, but you're supposed to hate them.
Yeah, it's not X-Pac heat.
I just mean it's not like when we turn around and say like, oh, we don't like. For example, I've mentioned I hate Ryback, but he's face. If that makes sense, I'm not supposed to hate him. But with a heel, if you hate him because of the gimmick, it's like, well, the gimmick's working.
Yeah, that is true. All right, so on to our match and promo of the night. So Take it away first, Jim.
Okay.
Jimmy.
So match of the night, I gave it to Paige versus Nikki for the Divas title because that was a good back and forth contest.
But how did they do twin magic?
I don't know what you're talking about. But it was a good. It was a good match. It was the only match I really saw the majority of, so I give it to that. And for my promo of the night, I gave it to Sad Rusev is sad.
Sad Rusev.
Well, poor Sad Rusev. He comes out. He's wearing all black. He's got all fucked up foot. Oh, Sad Rusev.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, one of the I didn't read the article, but there's a thing on the little dirt sheets of now. Is Rusev going to be required to wear boots now?
He's got his flippy flops.
Yeah.
I still reckon they're in the phase of repackaging him, Rick.
What do you think they're going to repackage him as?
I don't know what as, but I mentioned that to you and Marcus the other day, Jim. But
Yeah,
the reason I mentioned, because I wasn't sure if Rick was in that conversation, but
I don't think he was.
I said I swear they were going to repackage him, because if you look at him, when he comes out in the crutches, he's in like street gear, if that, more so in his normal wrestling gear, and it's like, what they did with Undertaker, for example, with Ministry, was right at the end of Ministry, he was wearing T-shirts and bandanas, right before he came back as biker. So I'm like, is Rusev gonna? I don't think he's gonna come back as the angry Russian or Bulgarian or wherever he's from this week. I think he's going to be. I think he's not going to be the boo foreigner. I think he's going to be more like possibly a Kevin Owens, Brock Lesnar type.
Can see that.
Yeah, I remember seeing the little dirt sheet saying stuff like they're gonna drop the Russian part of their gimmick, and now this will make it easier.
Yes.
I hadn't seen that.
And yet we're still going to call Lana the Ravishing Russian.
Probably.
No, they did. They announced when Dolph came out for his match on Raw, they're like, being accompanied by the Ravishing Russian Lana, Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, they did. Which, yeah, I'm just like I'm thinking they're gonna repackage him so we can have more storylines instead of just I hate your country.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I would appreciate that. I'm not a fan of like that's your heel gimmick of I'm from another country, boo me. Like what?
Well, I'm not a fan of bald people.
Boo you. Then why are you gonna put on a cap and pull twin magic?
Yeah.
To ruin your
self-loathing.
so you get Reigns heat.
There you go. Yeah, the problem is when you do that Rusev foreigner gimmick, it'll work for a little while, but if you play it too long, it always inevitably ends up looking like that one robot from the Robot Wrestling League on Futurama.
I know what you're referring to.
I am the foreigner. I am not from here. I have my own custom.
Yeah. It does work sometimes, but it's like really fucking rare that you could keep milking that cast count.
Yeah.
And the only time I can think of is people like the Iron Sheik, and that was a different era.
Yeah. It feels very archaic.
Yeah.
Well, that and the fact that everybody knew that the Iron Sheik was fucking awesome.
Yeah, the Iron Sheik was awesome.
Like, oh my god, not Davari, the guy he was with.
Muhammad Hassan.
Yes, Muhammad Hassan. Like, that felt like that was like the most appropriate that it had been in like the last 15 years, but even that felt like, don't do this, please.
I was just going to say, I was reading a list about things that failed WWE. You realize they debuted him like a week after the London bombings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but as I also pointed out with that, they debuted him wrong. Because if you watch his promos going into it, it was, look, don't hate us for the other stuff, just treat us fairly. We're Muslims, we just want to take a chance, don't think of us as terrorists. And he comes in, and then suddenly they make him a heel instead, because the crowd are like, boo, Muslim. And he ends up having fucking terrorists come out the crowd and kidnap people.
He does a weird like fucking prayer shit and summons dudes in masks. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm like, you've done this wrong. You've done it wrong. If you debuted them as a face, like say they'd be like how the Usos first debuted, of don't treat us like a proper Samoa, like old Samoan stereotypes.
Yeah.
I know that's funny in hindsight, but don't treat us like stereotypes and stuff, and they're like dressed more like The Rock. That would have totally fucking worked for Muhammad Hussein, and he'd still be around today.
Mm-hmm.
And if they hadn't done the terrorist crap.
Yep. Poor Muhammad Hassan. And the ironic thing out of all that is Daivari still has a career. Figure that out.
Because he wasn't the main terrorist.
True.
All right. So, Mole, your match and promo of the week?
My promo of the week was from SmackDown, and that was Miz TV with Lana.
Nice.
Miz accuses her of basically just using Ryback, not Ryback, basically.
Ryback? What the hell?
Miz accuses her of basically using Rusev to get famous, then dumping him the second she had an opportunity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was trying to make out she was one of those types, and she's like, no, this was not a business decision. This was a decision at the heart. And she also tells Miz that if he keeps it up, she's gonna one of two things will happen. Either she will leave, or he will also be slapped.
Mm.
Then surprise guest, Miz brings out Rusev on crutches.
Hey.
Oh, he looks so sad hobbling up the steps one at a time. Like a worm. And then he gets into the ring.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he didn't actually do it. Luckily, he didn't do the worm, before, in case people misunderstood. I meant like how worms move from the game. I meant for the audience, because I just realised in hindsight. But yeah, he sits on the rope and pulls himself in and stuff, and he's like, "Lana," and his promo was funny because it's so bad. Like, his big insult was, you pathetic, stupid Lana. That was his insult. Then Dolph comes out to save Lana from nothing. But he comes out to save her from nothing. And then leaves with her. And I'm like, this accomplished nothing? Because if Rusev had gone towards her, or if Miz had gone towards her, you'd be like, okay, Dolph's actually making a save here. But this is Dolph as a face coming out and just rubbing it in a cripple's face that he stole his girlfriend.
Yep.
The face, people.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like this promo.
It sounds like a good promo. I'll have to go back and find a video of that. But I think also that actually does prove Lana's point. If she was just a gold digger getting with guys to get successful, would you really have picked Dolph fucking Ziggler?
Yeah.
He was the lone survivor at the Survivor Series team.
Fair enough.
And he was in the Spirit Squad.
Yeah, he had stuff dumped on him from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to now, where he just has stuff dumped on him from development. Hey!
Pretty much.
Poor dog.
Also, am I the one who thinks that Miz TV segment could have done something awesome? Because when you first said, Lana comes out on Miz TV and Miz starts insulting her and that thing on, I'm like, my first thought was, oh my god, please tell me Summer Rae showed out and they booked a lot of Summer Rae feud.
Sadly, Summer was not there.
Boom.
I would have mentioned her. I like Summer. I have a match of the week, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same as Richter's, so I'm going to let Richter go.
Oh?
It's from NXT.
Yeah? Does it involve the Man Beast?
Oh, okay. Then my NXT match of the week went to Adam Rose v. Tyler Breeze.
Quote Shadow. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I love that match. I am aware out of the three of us, I think only Richter's seen that, but I loved that match. I thought that match was just well paced, and like I said, Adam Rose has been really fucking delivering recently on Main Event and NXT and SmackDown and stuff. It's like, why aren't they pushing him? Make him champion already. He doesn't. I don't mean world champion, but at least, like, how awesome would it be, and how much would people be surprised if Adam Rose accepted and won Cena's Open Challenge?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What did you think of that match, Rick?
That was a pretty good match.
It was. I like that match.
Yeah, I think for all intents and purposes, Tyler Breeze is like super solid. Like I didn't think he would be, but I think he's pretty good. And Adam Rose is pretty entertaining too. So I thought that was a good match.
It is. I like that match. And what did you think about the new Adam Rose, as they kept talking about?
Where he doesn't have the exotic expression. He didn't have
Rosa.
Yeah, Rosa. I was like, what's her face?
It's because I really like Rosa, and I'm not insulting her, but I think she was worried that if she showed up on NXT, they wouldn't take her back to the main roster.
I can see that.
She has a right to be concerned. They're already taking her off of next season of Total Divas.
To be fair, they've taken a few people off that, but I think aren't they taking her off that to put someone else on it who's used more?
They're bringing back Naomi.
Yeah, who is used more.
True.
Isn't Naomi already in Total Divas?
She was on Total Divas, then she left the show, and now she's coming back.
So she must have left for season 4.
Yeah, I think she left for season 4, and now they're bringing her back, and they're getting rid of Rosa's dropped, and they're dropping somebody else. I don't remember who the hell it is. Cameron, maybe? Yeah, I think it's Cameron.
I will admit I like Cameron's boyfriend. I didn't at first, but god damn it, he's wonderful. He's like he's like Richter with an accent.
Nice.
Okay.
Technically, Richter has an accent, but you know what I mean. It's like Richter with a funny accent. I don't know if Richter's seen him on Total Divas yet,
I have not.
He's always like, "Oh, come on!"
I don't even know what season it. Like, I just picked a random one and started watching some of it, so I don't know.
But then you wouldn't understand all the threads.
I don't.
Yeah. You gotta go back.
What's funny is I see some of it, and I'm like, oh, I remember Mole talking about this.
Yeah, that's why I gotta go back and watch it from the beginning on the WWE Network for just $9.99.
Well, that's where I watched, but I mean, I don't know if it. They only have like it looks like 2 years of it. I don't know if they're separated by seasons, so I wasn't sure
They haven't split it by seasons. They split it by year, which means because the Series 1 is on there, but then part of that year is season 2, then part of that year is season 3. Like we're on season 3 right now on the WWE Network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's wrong. I only knew that because I got up to the season 2 final, and it literally says season 2 final on ETV. However, they don't have the specials.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys get them over there on E Network. I'll ask Jim. He watches E Network a lot, but basically, let me wreck on this. This is filler, Jim. We're allowed to lie. Basically, over here, after every season final, there's been a show where it's sort of like like an interview-ish show, like sort of like the Ellen show, but without Ellen and with someone else. That's a weird way of explaining it, but and then the cast are there talking about clips and stuff of the season.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't have that on this. It just never ends, and I'm like, oh, okay. It works better because you can just keep watching it, but
yeah.
You should try Total Divas, Jim, on WWE Network. Try it from the beginning.
Fair enough.
It's like right now, the part we're up to with season 3 is right around the time of Brie and Stephanie's match at WrestleMania.
Fair enough.
Not WrestleMania, SummerSlam.
Yeah, close enough. Summerfest, I don't know.
No, about half a year out.
Yay, Summerfest. Of course, they had that on the bloopers and blenders.
Yay!
and the Silver Dome.
Nice. What I loved most out of those ones was probably the Hulk Hogan one.
Yeah, that one was awesome.
Not because, it's Hulk Hogan, I always enjoy seeing him fuck up. Because if I wanted to see a Hogan fuck up, I'd just pay attention to his son.
Nice.
That's mean as fuck. But no, basically, I like the fact The Rock actually corrected him, and they joked about it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and Austin can't. Yeah, that part
Yeah.
was
That made it funnier, whereas the other one, people just let it go more.
funny. Yeah.
Which means Hulk Hogan also said he was in a building he wasn't scheduled to appear in.
There you
That's
go.
kind of his thing.
Yeah, he match bombs.
Yeah, well, right now, according to the little dirt sheets, he's still training a promo that he's going to show up for a retirement match at WrestleMania 32 that he wasn't scheduled to be in. So
To be fair, if they book it, he will be scheduled.
true.
Challenge accepted.
And his opponent will be Dolph Ziggler. And his opponent will be Brock Lesnar.
Kevin
In a
Owens.
matchup where if Brock wins, Hulk Hogan's fired. Then we'll go back. When you go on the WWE Network, but you know, like we made that joke the other day, Rick, of how they did with South Park with the Hoff's face. It will be Brock's face on Hulk Hogan in every match. Like, even the cartoon. Cartoon will be Slam City Brock.
Nice.
The retcon match.
Yes.
And then he'll immediately follow that with a Texas death match against Austin.
Yeah. But back to Rick.
Indeed.
All right, so my promo of the night was on NXT where they talked about Sami Zayn's injury and they showed him visiting the doctor and stuff. And kind of as you joked earlier, like one of the parts on the TV screen, you can see him like with the surgery. Like it looked like he was like sucking stuff out of the whatever. But I was like, wow, they're gonna so like that's why when you're like, would they show that? I'd be like, well, they almost did.
Yeah.
Fun fact about that.
Hmm?
Fun fact about that, if you believe the dirt sheets,
Uh-huh.
2K has recently purchased a studio that made Surgeon Simulator, and in Universe mode, if you get injured, you have to perform your own surgery, and depending on whether or not you go good or bad will depend on how fast you recover.
That would have been really funny 2 months ago on April 1st. That would be an amazingly terrible feature to put in the game. I would have to buy the Xbox One version and a Kinect because that would be the quintessential "this is horrible" idea.
Oh yeah.
like at least with the Move controller, you feel like you have some kind of control. The Kinect would be hilarious. I'm grabbing.
No, I've injured my shoulder. Now I'm going to keep having reoccurring injuries.
Yeah. It'd be like, you perform poorly on Daniel Bryan's thing. He'll never wrestle again. Game over, because just all your fans leave. Hashtag cancel this game run. And you're like, no, I can.
Oh my god, how boring would that be for a WWE game? Not that surgery part, but if they actually did that for My Career mode, where you have to repair your CAW, then you have to rehabilitate him, so you have to do slowly, walk, wait, be careful, step.
And they're all QTEs, and you have to like tap X really slowly.
Yeah, and just
like,
while you're
you do it fast, it's like re-injured, and you're like, ugh.
and while you're doing it, Rick, just to add insult for injury, literally, you will tell the game who your favorite wrestler is of all time, and as you're doing it on the TV, there will be like Monday Night Raw, and it'll be like say like it was you, it'd be like Austin has appeared, and he's offered an open challenge for WrestleMania for anyone on the roster to come out right now. It'd be like, no.
Would then and then if you fail that, or like that happens, so you can't go out, do you get a trophy or achievement of sad gamer?
Yes.
Yes.
Actual spelling.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm kind of a trophy. Wait.
Yeah. We ruin perfectly good games.
Isn't that Capcom's motto? Anyway.
Well, it has to be somebody's motto. EA stopped doing it.
That's true.
To be fair, I think Capcom's motto's changed to "We remastered mediocre games."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just the first one I could think of offhand that I thought would
Yeah.
fly. I was like, don't do EA, Capcom.
Oh.
There we go.
Capcom makes perfect sense as well. We still need that discussion later on XGR or something, the one we kind of went into a little bit. If we need to talk about the fact there's no smaller development teams anymore. Like, why is it AAA games and indie games? Where's A game, double A game, B game, C game?
Well, yeah. Well,
The promo.
yeah. But yeah, it was a pretty good promo because I don't know, I like the behind the scenes stuff, and it was just kind of interesting to see him go through that, and it did more than I thought it was going to do. I thought it was going to be like a lot quicker. And I thought they mentioned the rotator cuff, and I thought the guy said that they were fixing that too. That's why I mentioned that earlier when I was like, I think they were doing that.
Okay, they may have.
Yeah, because it sounded like the doctor said like, oh yeah, and we're repairing that too, so it's kind of fortunate or something.
Do you ever feel like I do, Rick, when I see them? I love, like you said, the behind-the-scenes stuff where it makes it feel more real and stuff. But whenever I see surgery on WWE, like when Triple H's leg was injured and suddenly you see him like going into him and stuff, I'm looking at it close. I'm like, is that even a leg? I don't know at this point. Like, are you just showing a random surgery clip inserted in there, like from like the E Network's Doctor show or whatever? I assume they got a Doctor show.
Probably. If not, Fox does. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know for sure. They could easily do that.
But I do like seeing it, if that makes sense. But but every now and again, I'm like, is that real? Ever since when I was a kid, when I saw the Shawn Michaels one, and then he came back like 2 weeks later after doctors had shown us the X-rays and everything, I'm like, wait a minute.
But then my match of the week was Finn Balor versus Rhino, because it just surprised me, because I was like, Rhino's okay, but I didn't think he would look as good as he did, against Finn. I thought it would be more of a crappy match for a main event, but I think Rhino's better in NXT than he was in anything else.
They are using Rhino right, and they're doing the opposite of what we said with Big Show and King.
Yeah. Yeah, they just
still
doing
weird seeing him happy.
Well.
Still weird whenever he smiles.
Who came?
No, Rhino. Whenever Rhino smiles and is all happy, I'm like, no, I'm always used to the Beast Rhino that doesn't show much emotion, if that makes sense. I don't like happy-go-lucky Rhino. I was like, hey, guys!
But yeah, I thought that was a pretty solid match. I didn't expect much, and it impressed me, so.
I also liked when he talked on the interview before the match when he was talking about he's going to get a goal.
Oh, yeah. Well, I also thought that one thing the match did kind of interesting was it didn't end with the finisher, after he missed at the gore, I thought he was going to knock him down and then go for the coup de grace. No, he just rolled him up, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a roll-up, but I mean, it made sense in that instance, and it wasn't got to do the finisher. It felt slightly less predictable, even though it could easily it could look predictable because roll up, but I don't know.
Oh my god! I've just thought of something geniusly evil that WWE could totally do to save money and make money. Let's say Sami Zayn is currently injured. Make a slightly new Sami Zayn t-shirt and advertise it with an image of him being injured and stuff, and mention most of them, like 99% of the proceedings of this t-shirt go to his medical bills. So I like Dan, let's say, it's I like Daniel Bryan, he's injured, I must buy his t-shirt to help his recovery. I like Sami Zayn, I must buy his t-shirt to help his recovery. You know what I mean? They'd make shitloads of money off people doing that, and less money from their healthcare.
There you go.
I'm not sure if that's evil though.
Yes, but I'm kind of surprised they haven't done it.
Yes, but I'm surprised. Oh, I'm a terrible person if that's what I came up with. I was like, it's kind of genius because they save money. Fans get t-shirts. and the WWE makes money because a certain percentage will go back to WWE. And I'm like, that's evil. They're literally exploiting people's illnesses and injuries, and I know WWE wouldn't like to do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you're like, oh, I'm an evil person because I thought of that, and be like, it's still a step above the Warrior Award. So I don't think you're quite. You could be more evil. We'll put it that way.
I'm gonna say, what do you mean, Warrior Award? In this filler episode, that was the IRS award that went for whichever wrestler had paid the best taxes.
Can that be a thing? Well, the Warrior Award goes to someone that's not a wrestler, so maybe the IRS will go to that an actual person.
Oh, the Warrior Award. Is it the Celtic Warrior giving people awards based on their mohawks?
That's one way to put it. I was going to say put it on unique and silly hairstyles. Therefore, one of the NXT Tag Team Champions won it. I was like, which one is it? Screw it. Just call people know what I mean.
Yeah.
Blurfy there. I'll combine their names.
I like the idea of that's a yearly award for Mohawks. And he's like, okay, this one half of Legion of Doom. Next year, the other half of Legion of Doom.
Yes. And then Mr. T. And then
yes. Then Undertaker.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the idea of him showing up to accept his award out of character.
I like the idea of Draws sitting there and go, God, another year.
Yeah. Speaking of The Undertaker, this is slightly off topic, but it is wrestling. Is anyone else excited for that book?
Don't know of a book.
Basically, one of the wrestling writers and analyzers and stuff, I can't remember which one it was, but he's wrote it down like a biography of all the storylines and history for it. WWE has done with backstories and stuff from The Undertaker's career from day one till now, and done it in like a timeline order and stuff as a biography. So it's a biography of the character. I'm like, I fucking want this.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I see Giant Gonzalez written in print and go, I remember him. When I was a kid, I thought he was awesome.
Really?
I will admit, I was really young, and it was this big muscular dude that just came out and threw Undertaker into stairs, and I liked Undertaker. I was like, oh my god, this dude's impressive. Then I watch it like a couple of years later, like when I'm like in my teens, and I'm like, can't believe I like this shit. Look at his sprayed on abs. It's like a Power Ranger costume.
He had sprayed on like crotch hair on it. Like,
yeah.
That's pretty weird.
It was. You wish that was in WWE, don't you? As one of the pre-built attires for yourself.
No, I really don't. Dude, okay. In some of the years when they had like the body hair, I thought I remember them having like, some down there, and it just looked weird. I'm like, that looks a little too weird.
That did when they had like the chest hair that went all the way down around the crotch.
Yeah.
And you're like, I understand why you've done this, because trousers or shorts will cover up, so all the hair goes down like it should on the belly based on where the line is. But that looks weird.
Yeah, it does look really weird. Yeah, usually I try to put like hair on my dude, and then like a body hair on, and I'm just like, you know what? I'll just have a shirt on. Like, no one's gonna see this, so I like don't even put it on anymore. I'm like, I figure it takes an extra like 2 seconds to load that layer, so screw it.
Yeah.
It never looks right. No one's gonna see it. Just fuck it.
And then next year they announce rippable T-shirts, so you can rip the T-shirts off people in the match, and you're like, fuck you.
It's like, give me the Zangief Eagle. But there you have it, our match and promos of the week and our awards. So without further ado, unless anyone has anything to add, I figure we'll a good time to take us out.
It is a good time to take us out. And next week, Money in the Bank.
Yay! So it'll be on Sunday. Sunday. All right. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
I was going to ask, just out of curiosity, since we're a week behind, who does everyone think is going to be champion at the end of Money in the Bank, and who does everyone think will be Money in the Bank winner?
Oh.
And I say think based on your own opinions, not what you've read on dirt sheets.
I don't even remember other participants. Reigns, I don't think he should be, but I could see that easily happening. Who else is in that match besides Kane? I don't think it'd be Kane.
Reigns, Kane, I think Ziggler. I don't have all the participants in front of me.
Is Ambrose in that one?
He's not. I think Ambrose is going for the title.
Oh, okay. No, he already has it.
I thought he was a champion.
Yeah, he's going against Seth Rollins in a ladder match, by the way. Where they announced it was going to be a ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
I think of who else would be in there. Are there two? No, is there just one Money in the Bank, or are there two?
There is. There's just one.
That's one. Participants in the Money in the Bank ladder match include Dolph Ziggler, Neville, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, Sheamus, and Kane.
Roman Reigns, yeah. As much as I like some of those people, I don't see them getting it.
Fair enough. And who do you think will be champion?
Rollins.
I could see that.
Because I didn't think Ambrose would win, and I agreed with him winning that because I thought that was kind of cool. And then I just shook my head when they retconned that immediately. So I'm pretty sure they won't legitly give it to him, at least at this juncture. So I'm pretty sure Rollins will retain or get back, however you want to look at it.
Given this pay-per-view, they tend to use the various, I don't know, they've got a ladder match and a Money in the Bank ladder match or something. They could have put some stipulations on some of these other matches. Would have been interesting.
I would like to have seen a Divas Money in the Bank.
That would have been good.
That'd be awesome.
I'm looking at New Day versus Primetime Players, and I'm like, that feels like you could have made that a tables match. It feels like a tables match.
It's Money in the Bank, not TLC.
I know, but still, they could have done it.
A tag team Money in the Bank.
That's why I asked if they were doing another one. I was like, well, is there a SmackDown one or a tag team? Because the tag team one would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Now, a tag team one would be fucking amazing, especially if it had all the teams from Elimination Chamber in it. So it's like the same amount of teams as there is participants in a single one. That'd be amazingly chaotic.
I know. Where's Tilo when we need him?
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be the same number of teams because, Tyson gets injured, so his team would be out.
Oh, and they just replaced him with the Mega Powers. They have other teams besides the ones featured in that chamber.
Bro.
One thing I actually agreed with on the little dirt sheets that someone commented was put Cesaro with the other Uso, and then pow, they have stuff to do.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I'm not a fan of Cesaro, but I'd be okay with that because they don't. It kind of sucks that they were starting to get momentum, and then just like, oh, one guy's injured. Like, just put them together, it'd be fine. It'd feel less thrown together than a lot of their other teams.
That would be amazing if they did that, just because. If they did that as well, story-wise, that those two decide, look, while our partners are away, let's still go after the tag team things. And hey, if we become tag team champions, we'll have a match when our teams come back to decide who's the champion.
Yeah,
I think that'd be really fun.
That would be fun.
I'll admit, I'm predicting Rollins will win, and I'm predicting. I like that. I'm on the fence with either Roman. I'm thinking Roman Reigns will win it more, but a little part of me does think Kane is a likely candidate.
Mm-hmm.
What's Jim's prediction?
I agree. It's most likely Roman Reigns. I'm thinking they might do a Kane thing, but I feel like they wouldn't unless they're going to give Kane a title run and he's going to retire. I don't see them giving Kane having a reason to have the briefcase.
That was the reason I was thinking. I was thinking Kane might do, he was rumored to and said he was thinking about retiring around the last time Kane won Money in the Bank, then cashed in on his brother, and they had that big storyline. Kane became good. So I'm like, it could make sense for him to do it that way. But yeah, they are. Like I said, Reigns is the obvious choice.
Mm-hmm. Although Randy Orton is the ultimate best friend of the ultimate opportunist and has been known to be very opportunistic himself, so.
Yep. And I was like, that's weird though. Ambrose's decision is weird.
Mhm.
Ambrose is the one that makes Reigns say Ambrose wants it in a ladder match, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's a weird choice. Because he wants in a ladder match, so there's going to be no disputing between them like there was last time when people got involved and stuff. I'm like, it's a ladder match. It's not a fucking cage or a Hell in a Cell. If anything, a ladder match makes it legal for all of the authority to interfere. What the fuck's wrong with you? Well, it's Money in the Bank. I couldn't have a match type from like Hell in a Cell. That's a couple of months away.
Yeah. And then, in fairness, that also makes it legal for Roman Reigns to interfere.
Yes, but he'll have the Money in the Bank match beforehand, which means you could argue he'd be injured or beat down or worn out or something.
True, but so will Kane. So all Rollins is going to have is his two stooges.
I think it would be funny if Reigns did win the... Oh, yeah, Big Show. If he did win Money in the Bank, and then during the match with Ambrose, just his music hit, just so Rollins would, like, crap himself. He's like, wait, the same night? No, he's great. And it'd be funny if that cost him it, and then Ambrose got the title, like, legit off of that, and Rollins like, are you kidding me?
That'd be amazing.
All right, so there you have it. Our predictions. We'll see how that plays out next week.
Indeed.
Oh man, but didn't we not predict it? If we end up right, it didn't happen, right? Because it's filler.
Ah, shit.
Yeah,
that is also correct.
I should have went with the. Damn it. Okay, then Kevin Owens is gonna win the Money in the Bank, and then and Zack Ryder will win the. Yes. Anyway.
Unless we bleach filler it.
Oh.
Where it didn't really happen, can't really fit continuity because filler, but yet we're oddly going to keep referencing it.
This podcast from an alternate timeline brought to you by the letter P. Anyway, but
brought to you by the highly successful Bill Cosby comeback tour. It's an alternate universe. He's innocent in that one.
True. That he never needed to come back. He's still relevant with the pudding. Anyway, so there you have it. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us, and hope you will be back next week where we will discuss Money in the Bank. So that will be on Sunday night instead of the, as per right now, regularly scheduled Saturday. So thank you very much, and hope to see you next week. Good night.